This is Kevin Burton. I'm the creator of Polar. I wanted to show you guys something pretty cool that you guys have been asking for a while, and now I've finally been able to integrate it all together. So we now have support for images and screenshots of area highlights in the sidebar and the annotation bar. So you can see this image right here in the annotation bar, and as we drag this highlighted box, you can't really see the box very well, unfortunately. It's because it's yellow on blue, but it's the quick demo I'm just throwing together. So let's say we wanted to highlight this text. You can drag the box over, and then you can drag the bar over and then expand it. And then the sidebar updates in real time, which is pretty exciting. You can make small adjustments to it. The other thing that's really cool is that it does everything efficiently. And that was part of the trick to get this done, is that the data is actually stored as binary blobs in the Polar backend. So on disk, they're stored directly as raw files, and they're served as file URLs into the browser, into your local Electron/Chrome build if you're on the desktop version. And then on the Firebase backend, they're stored as blobs in cloud storage, and they come out of the blobs in cloud storage. I think it's like really fast to serve them, about 100 to 200 milliseconds, even for small blobs. And then these are represented as binaries. Obviously, they're not actually stored as in the JSON themselves. This data is stored in JSON on disk, but the file is a raw binary disk. The other thing that I did which was pretty cool, is that this is all very efficient in that the data, while you're updating it, actually is not loaded from the back end. It's actually, the way it works is that we use blobs, and in JavaScript, there's this cool feature where you can take a blob of data, like so, it's a whole big image binary data array, and you can create that blob, and you can actually create a URL to it, and the URL can actually be served as a little image. And so the cool thing about this is that I'm capturing the image and then creating the URL, and it just literally puts the URL right there immediately. So while you're interacting with it, it's basically perfectly instantaneous. There's almost no latency. The latency is all RAM, latency from reading from RAM, which is, 50 nanoseconds or something. So while you're working with it, it's going to be really fast. And the other cool thing is that there's no chance for it to be latent. So, normally you'd say that running from disk would, generally speaking, would be fast. But if your computer is doing other things in the background, that might slow you down. And then you don't want it to be lagging. So all the data stays in memory. If you were to reload it, it would then come from disk, but then it would use the caches and so forth. So it would be still pretty fast. But the key, what I wanted to preserve, is while you're moving it around, it was just really fast. And so the other thing that people have been complaining about is that this text here, isn't always accurate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to take a screen capture, a screenshot of the actual text highlight, and overlay them, so that you can actually see the underlying image if you want to. And then, the long term here is that when you're using other tools and you're in the annotations view, you can actually see the area highlights and everything, all in one place, and you can keep a really nice tight handle on all your data. What's also really exciting is that since there's this binary data store, we can do other things, which, this is a little bit in the long term. But you could, in theory, capture video and audio and literally store it as part of the annotations, and that would work totally fine. And especially since you're in the browser, there's very robust support for video and audio capture. So that is something I want to add in the future. But this is all beta stuff, alpha right now. I got about a week of work maybe to do just to clean it up. Right now, when the image is created for the first time, this image isn't updated. It has to go through, and you have to drag it for it to be updated the first time. And so there's some more cleanup I have to do. The other thing I have to do is make sure that the replication protocol handles all the binaries fine. I've been working on for the last couple weeks to get this done, doing a lot of the background work. And so now it's all kind of coming together into fruition. So I'm excited to get this out. It's been, heavily demanded feature, is the ability to have images in the sidebar and not just raw text. So I have some other things that I'm working on. I'll keep those as a surprise, but you can also see that the image adjusts based on the width of the sidebar. So, and there's also some padding in there too. I'm going to add some more chrome around it so it looks like a, right now it's just an image, but I'm going to prettyify it in a bit here. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to show you. Had a productive day, so thank you very much.